I just looped that. I'm sorry, guys. Can y'all hear me? What is up, everybody? Somebody thumbs up me if my audio is happen to be working. It's been jacking with me. Jim Tagliaferra, Paul Mills, channel members. What's up, guys? Double D10 channel member. Good to see you, brother. Marco, channel member. I'm going from the bottom to the top, which is probably the wrong way to do it. I'll start back up here at the top and say hi to Ground Fog, my brother, Lord Needham, the man, the myth, the legend. Crazy Roach, channel member, good to see you, brother. Brody, fellow knife addicts. My day was low key. I was up late last night. Then it stormed early this morning, and I went to bed till like 2. So I'll probably be up for God knows how long. Neil McKenzie, channel member, what is up? And everybody seems to have a wrench, which is good. Space Ghost, what is happening, my man? Channel member, good to see you. Josh Branson, good to see you, my man. You got your wrench. Goondocs does not have a wrench. What's going on, Goondocs? Let me get something open here that I've not opened yet, which is the other chat. I'm in StreamYard, guys, so I've got a little bit of a delay. And even if I was in just YouTube, I'd have a delay. That's just the way it is, I guess, with chat. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm going to try, and I say try, just like I try to answer my comments, which I'm failing miserably at on my videos. But I'm going to try to stay up into the chat. We got Jim Tigliaferra here. Let me find Goondocs and get him a wrench while I've got him in sight. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. Boom. Boom. All right, we got that handled. And we've got Paul Mills, the man, the myth, the legend, my buddy. We got Double D10. He's in the house. We got Rob Ten Ring. Good to see you, buddy. Are you a mod? Hold on a second. Channel member Rob Ten Ring is, and he is not yet a mod for some reason. So now you can share links, do stuff. But again, you guys remember, I had to teach Shane with great responsibility or great power comes great responsibility. Josh Worth, what is up? Channel member, good to see you, brother. Yeah, I'm thinking it'll probably be Michael Morgan. Mimo, what is up? Good to see you, buddy. Always good to see Mimo. Always good to see all you guys. Josh Worth, what is up? I don't think you got a wrench, and I don't want anybody to feel left out. And again, with great power comes great responsibility. Try not to abuse it. And just so you know, if you ever come in one day and you don't have a wrench, that doesn't mean you were singled out. That just means no. Urban Woodsman, what is up? Be shady. What is up? Let me get Urban Woodsman a wrench. All it means is YouTube comes in when I jump into studio and says you need to clean your mods, and it prompts me, and I always clean my mods. And people think that they've been removed, but if you look, everybody's been removed, and all you have to do is ask Ground Fog, you're a mod, and Urban Woodsman can share links. He is now a mod as of now. But yeah, so if you ever come back in, do not take it personally. I've had it happen once before where it got cleaned out. Snow Trog, what is up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I don't know who else is going live tonight. I'd seen somebody post a question in the Knife Tube schedule, and I've not seen yet because it's Memorial Day weekend. Let me go in here and let's see if Big Red's going live for Saturday Night Live. Saturday Knives Live. Big Red. Yes, he is coming up at midnight. So there's that. But I have a feeling because Lefty and I were going to do this. We usually do off the edge. He's been working on a deck, new homeowner, doing all kinds of stuff. I always tell him, look, dude, Josh Worth, member for 14 months. Thank you, brother. Let me get to my bar sounds. I was going to find a sound today and I didn't do it. But here we go. That's going to be my That's gonna be my wacky, till I find something that just says "thank you" or something like that. I can't play a kazoo. I've tried to bring my guitar over here and hook it up. It sounds like shit. My acoustic sounds fine, but then I've gotta have a place to sit it. I've gotta move, pick it up, strum it. Eats a lot of time. So I'm gonna find a button I can push. Like, I wouldn't wanna say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," and then push a gunshot, right? But it's definitely possible. Um, where's my gunshot? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, something's funky happening, guys. I've lost the chat for just 2 seconds. I'm lost in my effects. My band members used to tell me that. I was getting lost in my effects. Guilty as charged. I know I saved this effect in there earlier. Where is it? Here we go. Did y'all hear a little pop? Like a little cat being busted off? We got Grushan in here. Good to see you, Grushan. Say hey, buddy. But before you leave, I'm going to drop a wrench in your hand. So when you come back, you can, of course, share links. You can have the same power as everybody else. Just use it wisely with the force of good. It is all about positivity here, unless we all need to talk about something and work something out, which I've learned a lot, guys, in my 85 years. Because even though I'm not quite that old, I feel like I have that many miles on my odometer. But communication is key, and it's not uncommon for communication to break down because feelings get involved. My only hope is that people take 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever the case may be, work through their feelings, attempt communication again. If it doesn't work, everybody was raised different, and communication is a tricky thing for a lot of people that are absolutely normal, not to mention people that are challenged with different shit. What's that, Mayor Salt? Mayor Salt, you are a mod. You need to post, if you would like, your new IG, and I will pin it. Communication Breakdown is one of my favorite Zeppelin songs. It is very intense, and I don't know if y'all have all, and I won't play it because I'll get copyright stricken. But if y'all seen that old black and white footage from Led Zeppelin, and like right after, right when they first called themselves Led Zeppelin, they're playing in an auditorium of about 50 people, and Robert Plant's introducing the band. They play How Many More Times? They play Dazed and Confused. Jimmy Page is playing a Telecaster. It's black and white footage. Have y'all seen that? I think I can show a still of it, and y'all can say, "Yeah, I've seen that." Let's go. I'm not looking at chat, guys. I've got to get another screen. I promise when I get a job and I'm making money, I will 100 get several screens. So this is the video I'm talking about, and I'm not going to share it, the music or any of that shit, but it's from 1968, I guess. It's this one right here from the BNN and Danmark's radio. Look at these people. This is their audience. And they come out, I think, with Dazed and Confused. So they've literally got just their amps, their stage equipment, and Page absolutely works the shit. These are the same video. So there's How Many More Times they played. Let's go. But this is the whole 30-minute. It's just a little 30-minute video. I'm going to post the link up so y'all can go watch it. If you're a Zeppelin fan and you haven't seen it, for all love of everything holy, houses of thee, go watch this. And feel free to bounce. Angry Tom, what is going on? But yeah, that is that video I just posted is probably one of the most classic, old school basic instruments, sonic wizardry from Jimmy Page, a Telecaster, an amp, and some little thing he's got back by his amp. I don't know what it is. It reminds me of some of the stuff Jack White, and I won't bring his name up again, uses. But yeah, Angry Time, that's probably because I was a Zeppelin fan from high school on. I never saw them. They broke up when I was in ninth grade, eighth grade after John Bonham died. So I never was an adolescent enough to where I would have gotten a chance to see him. But I listened to him religiously. So I listen to him to this day because I believe that certain music, whether you like certain country music, I don't like modern country, but Willie Nelson, God bless him. I think he's a hero, a great songwriter. I liked Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, but I thought of them as kind of hippies. Um, but a lot of that music to me is timeless, and Led Zeppelin is the schnit. I mean, they are it for me. Very, very, very good stuff. But yeah, y'all check that out, man. It's so Physical Graffiti, 10 Years Gone is one of the best songs ever. You know, that's a song they could never play live. There were too many guitar parts that Jimmy overdubbed. So you can play it. I can play it and cover it per se. I can't sing it. That was absolutely classic. Rob Ten Ring, I am 57 years old. I will be 58 in July. So I was born in the summer of love, 1967. So yeah, but I had a really, really my RPMs idle higher than most people. So I lived a lot of years in the short 57 I've been here. Let's put it that way. Bocephus was great. You know, what happened is Johnny Cash was fucking legend, right? I mean, I still think the picture of him shooting the bird at Folsom Prison or wherever he was is classic. It's been on poster in my wall at least 2 times, 3 times during my lifetime. But that's before, and I know the industry was involved back then, but I guess that was before it became corrupt. When I say corrupt, I look at the Elvis later years, and I know that those musicians were taken advantage of, but yeah, it's you know, the old joke about playing your country record backwards. You get your trailer back, your wife comes back, your dog comes home. Did y'all ever hear Waylon's voice was great, Mimo? Did you ever hear the Outlaws, which I think was Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson? Let's see, the Outlaws. That was my mom's favorite. And that's how I was um exposed to that early kind of music. So the Outlaws was give me a wiki. I don't want to see the okay. Here's the wikis. I don't want to see the current lineup. Outlaws were Frank Gideon, blah, blah, blah. That's the different Outlaws. All right, let's go Waylon. Waylon and Outlaws. So it was Willie Nelson. It was it was one album. It was let's see. Where's my wiki? Everybody wants the vinyl. I see several posts here wanted on vinyl. I've got it on vinyl. But I don't know if y'all can see this. It looks like it was Waylon, Willie, Chris Christopherson, and I forget who the chick was.
Next, please. Extra cold.
I want to just see the thumbnail. I don't want to. Does that say Carter? So it was Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Jesse Coulter, and Tom Paul Glazier. So I urge you guys to Spotify this. And I don't like country music, but that is some shit that I grew up on. Oop, I'm not even sharing it. Look at me. Stevie, what is up? Member for 14 months. Thank you, brother. Let me get back to my bar sound. I don't have a kazoo. Thank you, brother Stevie. But let me share this. This is what I grew up on. And this album, I know you can find it on Spotify, but the Outlaws were Waylon, Willie, Jesse Coulter, and Tom Paul Glazier. I think it was just one album they did, and it was when they were all doing a ton of coke. So it was just really, really good stuff. I mean, it's artsy. Did I share that? Did y'all see that? Whitney Morgan. I will definitely check that out. But I've learned I can't check shit out on yeah, y'all saw it. There it is. So that is an album or Spotify playlist I urge you guys to go check out at your leisure. Good shit. Very good shit. Neil McKenzie channel member, what's up? Tori is in the house and Tori doesn't have a wrench. I think Stevie has a special wrench privileges. I don't think he knows that, but he does. He's a managing moderator. I noticed that when I was in my let me look at my YouTube studio. Where does it say that? Oh hell, it doesn't say it. Anywho, Mr. Leatherworks, what is up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Welcome. 1931 Leatherworks. Some Rag and Bone. Is that a band or is that a style of music? I'm gonna Google it. Rag and Bone Man. Is this him? I'm gonna show you what I found, and you tell me if I'm warm, and I'll bookmark it. Does he look like Butterball on a diet before he had a ton of tattoos? Is that him? It looks like Rag and Bone Man. Human? Hold on, let me go back here. All this will do is put it in my go back and watch it. And guys, I don't know about y'all, and I hate to get off on everything, but Post Malone is one of the coolest, most respectable people I've ever seen. Your Metal Complex video was spot on. I almost said the only thing more offensive is 18-bit computer game music, but that would admit that I watched Friday night before I go live. So I didn't use that one. I used country music instead. And then I realized I slurred Willie. I slurred Wailing. I slurred. Stevie's going to do a whole series, guys. No one's safe. Post Malone runs guns. He can sing country. If you watch that Nirvana thing that they did during lockdown with Travis Barker on drums, and I don't know who else played, it was just 3 people. I've got a video of him. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen Don't Think Twice, It's All Right, by Post Malone, just an old school. Don't think twice. Post. All right, so I'm not going to play this, but I will share it and I will put it in the chat because shit like this, everybody says he hit it big with SoundCloud, which he did. But if you watch just this, this is from 10 years ago. Not Tattoo One, but he's just covering Dylan. So his roots are in a lot more than just hip hop or R&B or whatever you want to call it. But he is the kindest guy. I've never heard him, whether people run up to him and say, hey, or, he always seems to be so appreciative. He seems to be just kind. I mean, on Howard Stern's show, it's almost uncomfortable how many times it calls him sir. I'm sure it made Howard feel like a relic. But yeah, he is absolutely legit a cool guy. Kathleen, welcome, young lady. Good to see you. We're sitting here talking music. We should be talking knives. I brought out some different knives. Like this Kaiser that came out right around the time. I wish I'd gone to the Kaiser dinner, but I opted for sleeping in the chair in the pit, woken up by John and Jamie Rusk of EMP EDC while they were walking to dinner. But this is the Kaiser Mercury. I saw this guy on that chick Lefty's channel, the guy who designed this. He actually made one in his, they have a co-op, a little machine shop that several of these they make different stuff guys. And he made one of these and then partnered with Kaiser to get it produced. The only thing I don't like about it is the gold anno, but I live in the same town with Dopey, and he's told me he could strip it. He could do all kinds of stuff to it. But I'm thinking this is going to be part of a members giveaway. Also have out my smoking little shark cub Skinner. I've never been a fan. I say that. I've got 4 20.5s. I almost bought an 80/20, but I thought it was ridiculous. I bought this instead, and I just put skiffs in it. The video might have already come out. It may come out tomorrow. No, I went to put skiffs in it, and I bought this from Andrew at the Nashville Custom Knife Show. I'd never taken it apart, and when I went to put the skiffs in it, it already had skiffs in it. So I don't know if all these aluminum 20 CV shark cubs have skiffs in them, but I can tell you that this little slicer blade is probably for me the perfect, because I've got both other blade styles in the 20.5, and all 4 of them have the magnet mod. 2 of them I did early, and they're wrong because I had the polarization of the magnets mounted wrong and used the wrong magnets. And the other 2, Satu Dave hooked me up with some instructions and actually sent me some magnets and some scales with magnets already mounted in them. I sent him back my scales. It was an awesome thing to do. What is up, Demon channel member? And so I've got 2 80 20.5s that work really, really well. And then I've got when I get liquid again, I've got to buy some of these magnets. And I can share that with you guys if any of y'all want to do magnet mods. So these are the magnets that that Saigon uses. And I've got 2 bags, so I think they're 2 sizes depending on the knife you're putting them in, because I put some in a pulsar. And what I did wrong is if you set the magnets up and they suck together, that's the way I figured you'd want to mount them, right? Where you'd want to stick them to the back to where they were pulling towards each other, because to me, that would be better. But that's not the way to do it, because for some reason, I guess because the blade's not magnetized, you want them to be kind of pushing each other apart. So you don't want them to be stucking together or sticking together. You want to mount them to where they've got that friction between them, because that evidently draws the blade to center. And it made a huge difference. I don't have one of those over here, but such a good knife. And then this nice video, I'll probably record tonight because I've had it now in my pocket for probably about a week. This is, I want to say, either a $52, I can't pronounce the name. It's like the Taurosaurus. It is a Volsteed knife designed by my buddy, Mr. Yu. And what's great about this knife, and I've got a Dachshund that I'll show you that it looks like. To me, the handle, good, bad, or ugly, looks very 940. just in some of the sculpting, right? The handle, it doesn't look like a copy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's comfortable like a 945 in terms of the way it's contoured. But then you've got this thumb disc instead of thumb studs, and you've got this little harpoon. So when I go to reverse flick it, somehow, I don't know if it's the springs, but Vosteed has detent there. But this particular knife, my finger goes right there in front of the um, little whatever you call that and hits right in that choil. And this thing is so comfortable because if you notice, that poon right there, my finger thumb lays right in there. So, I mean, this thing has been a cutting machine. I put an edge on it, 17 degrees. It looked like it was pretty close to 17 degrees with my TS Prof. After I cut with it, it wasn't getting dull. I just like to see how the blade steel feels. It's 14C 28N. But for example, Vosteed had the Dachshund, and they sent me both of these, different times, of course. Because I thought that it was a G10 Dachshund, but it's actually a very different knife. They're both crossbar locks, but I'll drop this knife if I do this. They have different handle profiles. This one, of course, is a much more premium knife, more expensive. Has a top flipper and thumb studs, where this one has a shorter blade, shorter handle. And to be honest with you, I would much rather have this in a premium than this just because of the size. And I would love for them to add this top flipper. And you guys, if you've watched any of my reviews, I hate top flippers. I don't use them much. But the little ones that stick up like that with that little chimichanga thing that comes up just seem to be really easy for me to actuate, I guess you'd say. But I still prefer and just go for the middle finger flick. I'm real clumsy with my thumb flick for some reason. I think it's because they say, you got two thumbs. My thumbs aren't as, I just put them on the back of a guitar neck where my other fingers move. Great knife. Fantastic budget knife. This one, the one they sent me is white G10, which would probably be the last color I choose. However, because it gets dirty, but you could dye it. But they've got it in micarta. They've got them, let's see. And the other thing, if you go to Vosteed's site and you see that it's in stock in the USA, for example, the PSYOP, which I borrowed my buddy's A to Z, and right now it is currently sitting at #1 for my knife of the year. At first it was, and again, everybody likes different stuff, and I don't experience the same amount of stuff, but for me, this knife, and I was able to handle this one. This is the one my buddy had. $249, L-Max. The smooth have contoured handles. The textured have flat handles with the little chamfering. So it just depends on what you like. But both black variations are in stock. But if you look here, it says for US customers, low stock, for non-customers, sold out, right? US customers, low stock, non-customers, sold out. And these will both say sold out. Notify me when available. But what I mean by that is the few times that Vosteed has sent me knives, they tell me what they're going to send me to check out, and it comes in 3 days from New York. So I think that these, if you order something from Vosteed's site, it's not going to take it as long as if you order something from some sites where they come from overseas, right? So this new arrival, I can't pronounce this word of this knife that I was just showing you guys. See, it comes in micarta, $72. But it looks like the Toleraris. I mean, it's almost like a tongue twister. So you can get it in black, which is probably what I would go for because I don't really dig the blue, the raccoon blue. I like the stonewash blade. I like the I wish that was a different color G10, any different color. If these are both going to be black blades, I would probably go for the black. That would be my choice. But so see here, you've got for non-US customers low stock, because I guess they ship from somewhere else. For US customers in stock. So I'm sitting here talking and showing you stuff, and I'm not sharing shit. J. Course Cotton, you are sharp, dude. I guess people have been saying that forever because I will do that. I will go and share my screen and never ever share it because I can't pronounce this word. But I was showing you, this is the one that I have. And then they have the raccoon blue, but I like the black and black or the green and black. And what I was saying is the other one, like the PSYOP, was sold out in most variations except for two, but for US customers in stock, for non-US customers low stock. So I think because I've gotten them in a couple of days, I think if you order something off Vosteed's site and it says that it's in stock, it's going to ship from New York. That's where my Vosteed stuff has come from. But I think they're killing it. I really like you. I forget the young lady who was with him, who I met at Blade Show, but they are really good people. I think they're pushing the envelope. I can tell you, if any of y'all, and I'm sure a lot of you have checked out the PSYOP and the way that they did that top liner lock. I don't have my smock over here. They call it a reverse compression lock. If you look at them and you think of the logic, it's actually a liner lock that you can't, because I've reached, if you saw how many times I reached for the underside of that PSYOP, because the detent, everything feels just like a liner lock. The only difference is it's locking up at the top of the blade. And then what's going on, Ant? And then when you just push that button, it's actually just depressing the lock. It's on the same side as a regular liner lock. So I don't buy that the small, I think the compression lock is just a modified liner lock, I guess is what I'm saying. Which y'all are all saying, John, we knew that. You're an idiot. Of course, compression lock is just a liner lock that you don't have to get your finger in the, path of the blade. I get it. I get it. And then I had another victory. I took my F5.5, which has had the shittiest detent. I got one of the ones that was just jacked up, and I've had it for almost 3 years. I love this knife. I love to carry it. It appears to be, let me show you the dinosaur because I agree with that, but it shows this little mythical dinosaur that looks like a turtle with little things on its back. Yeah, the mechanism, Michael Morgan, is the same as a smock, except if you look at both of them, I have the smock here, but I don't have the PSYOP because it's my buddy's. He is spiky. I saw that's the Tarsaurus, but the liner lock looks thicker on the PSYOP, and the joining of that oval button to that liner looks more flush, less displacement, where the smocks looks kind of stuck on. But anyway, I fixed my detent by putting a little thin plastic pry I got from County Com in there and just letting it kind of relearn itself. Now it's not tight, but it's definitely not a wimpy flipper anymore. Michael Morgan is innovating because, to me, I look at their pivot lock. I look at the fact that they were the first with the, I forget the name of that Mayhem. I didn't like that knife. Everything they do, if you look at their blades, if you look at their shapes, to me, everything they do is innovative. If you look at that Corgi, which I'm not a fan of, but if you take it apart and you look at how they did, first of all, the Nightshade, I'm going to share the screen, is a fantastic knife, and people can say that's a shilling blade. That's the same thing as the Vox. They came back and just did a Bang & Mini, which I still have. Love this knife, but none of their stuff, to me, just a casual observer who's not a long-term knife guy at all. But this knife here, This is the mini, but just the full size doesn't just look different. When you take it apart, the blade has a complete rounded out channel. So there is no area, and then this plunge goes through it. So they even did that plunge lock is engineered much differently than plunge locks I've seen taken apart before. For example, if you take that apart, your spring's not going to fly out. Little weird shit like that. And they were the first to do when the top lock, and see this one here, I don't even know. I've not experienced one of these. I don't know how this works, but it's got something called the Vanker lock. Now, did they steal that from somebody? I haven't taken it apart. I haven't experienced it, but I'm excited by what they do because when I talked to them last year at Blade Show, they were young, the two that were in the booth, and they were excited about what they do. So for them to be excited and be doing what I thought was cool stuff, see, they've got a couple of these and they do different locks on their more popular knives. They're not trying to make a ton of knives. I'm just a fan. I really am. And I think what's innovative about it is A, the button, B, my smock had two detent balls to give it detent. I took one of the detent balls out, right? Um, so the smock is one of my favorite knives. I don't have it close because it's not one of my that 2K's favorite. But the D10 on a smock, even when I had the ball in, is not comparative to the D10 on the psyop that I tried because the D10 on the psyop is a true D10 like you would get on a liner lock. And the smock dealt with D10 a little bit differently. The smock's probably more innovative in terms of coming up with a new way to do different shit that does the same thing. But for me, who likes a crisp detent, speaking of, and then we'll do carries. Today I carried my OG favorite, my Liang Ma Field Duty 3.0 with one of the crispest detents. But if you're an OG that's a fan of snappy detents and you finger flick or flick the smock open and flick a psyop open, it's night and day. Kyle Coonley. It's not due to the innovation. And I wouldn't call it, they're just doing different stuff. Maybe I'm using the wrong word. Innovation is more engineering. I'm an English psychology major, so I don't think of innovative brain. To me, the Corgi, I've never taken apart a button lock or plunge lock that looked like that. I didn't take apart the psyop because it wasn't mine. The Raccoon had a regular button lock because I took it apart and jettisoned the spring. Oh yeah, the smock's a keeper, dude. I love my smock. I've got some Lite scales on it. I love the hollow grind on it. I've got a deep carry clip on it, and I took the detent ball out. And Chicago 23 lost his primary detent ball in spring, and I sent it up to him. I hope he got it. Mimo carried his PM2 micarta S90V and his case warning denim micarta. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah, if the patents run out, it's just like everybody doing axis locks, right? And then it's somebody like Snex who made his lock open source because I saw something MC said today, not that it's the gospel, but I do believe it, that people had been hitting him up in his dude, I just failed it. God damn it. This is the snappiest, thinnest, sliciest, pokiest little knife. I absolutely dig it. The Watu, as a matter of fact, I've got a lot of Spydercos, and my favorites come from Taichung. I love my American Spydercos, don't get me wrong. But in terms of, hate, hate the scale material that comes on every one. But most of these, if you're creative and you find people, you can get scales, and they're all very swappable. But this little knife, I'll try not to do too much of this. But this is the Mondo therapeutic slicer. Whoops. The Y2 is a winner. Now, it's not a hard work knife, but it is a great EDC pocket knife. And it's got that Slurpee saver potential. Have to blow. Michael, I think they're the best made. And don't get me wrong, I love my American Spydercos. But if you think about the ones, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if the Paisan comes from there, but I know my little what's it called? I can't think of the name of the little one that's got the flipper tab and it's over there. But like my Sage 5, I got a lot of them that came from Taichung that are just awesome. I wouldn't feel weird, Palmer, because you got to think about it. It's supporting the same company, right? They wouldn't have them there if they didn't want you to buy them, and they wouldn't be making them. I think there's certain things. I don't think they're necessarily because I don't think Taiwan, from what I understand, um, is cheap labor. I think it may be they have technical abilities that whether it's machinery or that exceed what they can do in golden. I don't know that. Um, but it's just one of those things. I don't know. I just know they're good. And I wouldn't feel bad at all going up there and getting whatever you want. The Spidey Chef's a nice one. I got to review my buddy's Paisan and really liked it. But like the Tactile Knife Company Archer, I would not pay that money for either one of those knives. I think the Tactile Turn Archer for $3.99, I probably wouldn't buy it, but that'd be more in line. I just don't see it. I mean, it's sharp to me. Um, did anybody go watch the Marine X video I talked about the other night where he breaks down the Benchmade thing? That I thought was just I'd never been a fan, and I'm not a fan, but I found it to be a great video and probably a really good service for people who are interested instead of just getting in the rumors and innuendo of whatever it is. He did a live stream and he downloaded the documents because evidently this thing's finally been settled. And the last, I'll put a link up and you guys can check it out. I won't put an opinion on it, but I think it's what everybody kind of knew or knows. I don't know how someone can go from oh, I know Palmer, and I don't it was the thumbnail, and guys, I'm gonna be just honest with you. I've all only do YouTube for a hobby. I enjoy it, but I'm also a digital marketer by trade. So SEO, SEM, digital ads, Google Analytics, all that shit is what I live. And my videos get no views. I mean, I look at G Ball, people like that, they get shitloads of views. And so I've been watching some videos and reading some blogs, and so much of it is in thumbnail. And you're never supposed to have more than 3 words on a thumbnail. They're supposed to kind of be misleading. And I'm just not about that. So I don't get it. I've got Mimo the Sage 5, the Sage with the compression lock, the one that went to Alzheimer's. A percentage of the proceeds go to Alzheimer's, which is my dad's got some kind of dementia. We don't know if it's Alzheimer's or not. Palmer, it depends on what I think the format of his live is. I think he's one of those guys who's very artistic, very good with cameras, with production, kind of like Ron Kwok or Everyday Minimalist. And they have different nights that are different topics. Because I've tuned in one night when it was him and his wife or his fiance. I don't know what their relationship is. I think it's his wife. And it was just kind of a neat chat. You know, it wasn't something that a knife guy would really like. 8-ball corner pocket. Snow Trog, that was one of my my capital V vices. I can taste it just thinking about it. Brings up memories. My throat's going a little numb. But yeah, the video that I posted of him just going through it, he took the time, and I know he did it probably for views, but he took a lot of time, kind of like, and he kept saying, I'm not an attorney, but he just read it, right? And read what was redacted. So the guy's name's redacted, but let me just show you guys something. Let me get somewhere and show you something real quick. This is what I did last night. It's so weird doing these solo 2 nights in a row because I feel like, especially since I'm not buying knives now, that I have nothing to really offer. Hopefully, you guys a place to hang. So this was a live stream. This is an hour and 26 minutes of him going through, and he took the time to bring out what he felt because it's basically a non-compete. And one of the things is it's a 2-year non-compete. And allegedly, federal law has the maximum time of a non-compete is 1 year. And so the guy who was a developer of innovation waited a year, the complete year before he joined Montana Knife Company. And then the sketchy thing to me was at the very end, the last motion that they're waiting for to be filed on now is Montana Knife Company has filed some kind of motion to get $17,000 reimbursed for legal fees and something else that they had to pay. And it shows all in that court proceeding if you go to it, or if you just Google it, you can see it, the timeline of it. Because I Googled it to independently, not read it, but just check the different things. But Benchmade threw kind of one of those curveballs towards the end of the trial that makes you cash up your lawyer and defend a different position or something, or come up with something different, and somehow went to the employee, or they claim in their brief, which all is in these documents, that they settled the issue, that they sued this extra stuff they required from Montana Knife Company with the employee. So the day before it was to go to trial, which meant Montana Knife Company would have had everything ready with their attorneys, had all their billable hours. Benchmade pulled out the extra thing that they were going after, because then their reasoning was because they settled it with the employee, which they weren't ever putting any kind of blame on said employee, because there's a whole lot of other stuff in depositions where the employee was told when he left, because he was fired, that it was fine for him to do that. Let me find this motion. Hold on a second. No, hold on. We can listen to this. He won't strike me.
I understand that. When you make that type of statement, that means that leads me to believe you weren't there. I don't know.
I want to see where.
What is that? A true and correct copy is also Exhibit 3. So he decided to meet with him on a Sunday. You see how this became urgent, guys? On the 20th of Saturday, he sent me this draft. I decided to meet with him on April 21st, which is a Sunday. Why didn't you agree to meet with him during the letter phase?
So that is where Benchmade met with the employee on a Sunday to figure out whatever they were going to figure out so that it wouldn't go to court. So it's right now, my understanding is, and we can Google it. We can Google it together, but that it's still waiting to see if the judge or the court is going to award Montana Knife Company those legal fees that they incurred before that. And they say that it was just a tactic Montana Knife Company does to make them spend money. And why did they go settle it with the employee? But yeah, just more reasons to, I remember, and I didn't think about it as any kind of pattern, because everybody does scales for Benchmade, but I don't know if it was Original Goat or if it was Rock Scale Designs who used to do a bailout set of scales. and they were sent a cease and desist. Hey, Roman M, what's up, buddy? Tori Casey, what is up? Good to see you, bud. So I don't know how that works, but I've heard, and again, it's all hearsay. I've heard that the Benchmade patriarch is either retired or no longer around, and when the son took over, he had gone to business school and got, more attorneys to protect more patents, which makes a lot of sense. But like somebody said earlier, attorneys can get in your ear, and maybe it's not the kid who's wanting to be sue happy. I say kid, he's probably my age or older, but somebody is too litigious or litigious. How do you say that? Litigious to sue fucking happy. What's up? Let me get that. Speaking of people who aren't a lawyer, I'm not going to get into drama, but okay. Palmer Conley is just a young man that's just spitting information, or he's a young man who is just very, very, very Google savvy. I know my daughter is. She can Google or AI shit. I was showing my mom Chat GPT tonight. I did a condolence letter to some fake aunt who died. I did a fake resignation letter. And I've heard there's this one guy that keeps emailing me who has this SEO service for YouTube that uses AI to pick up keywords and stuff like that. Well, I do keyword research. The easiest way to do keyword research, you want me to show you guys? You do it right in YouTube. You see what auto populates. So if we're going to do knives, if I go to this and I go knife, or if I go, you can see what's being most searched for. Or so when you do knife maintenance, you look at different keyword. So these are different searches that YouTube gets more often than not, right? And that's one way to title allegedly your thumbnails, and you're only supposed to use, according to the stuff I read, white text, which I never use. I'm like a failure in every tactic that I should be using. And I just got to do it better. I mean, I need to get the next version of StreamYard at some point so I can go a little higher res and do an actual real camera, because this is just my phone coming in as a guest. Like if Pocket Metal was here or somebody, I just come in as a guest with the phone so it doesn't fully focus. I feel like it's not very sharp. Have y'all ever seen a Blondie Mash 2.5 before? Yeah, Paul Mills, the Sage series was done, from what I read on the Spyderco site, to showcase each of their locks. I think with the exception of the smock lock, but each Sage 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all different. But I took my black Mash 2 that didn't have the pivot collar and the black blade from this one and swap them out. So I've got a totally blacked out Mash 2. I guess it's a 2 because it's got the 2.5 blade, but it's got the 2 body. And this one has the 154 CM 2.5 blade. Wait a minute. What'd that blade come off of? Yeah, that's right. These two switched. And the black one is 154 or 14C. Arkansas EDC, happy Saturday to you, man. He's been posting some banger fixed blades. I tried to keep the fixed blades off the table tonight, just because I know people don't dig those. And I don't know if y'all know this. I wasn't a huge fan of this knife until my buddy A to Z got one. This is the Tuya Caladan. It's got really buttery action. I didn't like the way it looks. To me, it's like a parrot. Hello. But it's fantastic S90V. And I saw a post on Instagram. I have no affiliation with them, but these are on sale in all configurations that are left on Tuya site for $200. And I want to say they were 3 something, but it's S90V. I actually reviewed this one, and then my buddy A to Z has the black or the dark tie that has kind of the grenade looking grip. I don't really like this carbon fiber, but it's a great knife. And I'm not a flipper only guy, but that parrot head makes this really a jabby poker because it gives you a guard. Is brother Shane in here? Shane. I saw Shane was getting ready to tackle some Magna Cut today. Cool shit coming out of Shane's head and hands. Edgy, let me know if you want a link, buddy. This was our Lefty and I's off the edge night, and I'm giving him the night off because he is chilling with fixing the deck, dealing with a 3-year-old, 3.5-year-old, and a wife who is baking number 2. So I don't want him to feel pressured to do shit. Was it Crewwear, not Magna Cut? Hold on, dude. I've got Instagram right here. I could have sworn it was fucking Magna Cut. Why am I losing my mind? All right. Let's share it and let's see if I was wrong, which I'm sure I was because it's Shane's post. Let's go home. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. Crewwear, I was wrong. Crewwear is probably my favorite. I have got, where is it? This little guy, this little apprentice V2 is in Crewwear. And guys, it's scary sharp, scary thin. And then that's CTX. I've got a Spyderco in Crewwear, but I don't remember, or is it a Benchmade? I've got a couple of things in Crewwear. Dude, I saw a post today that cracked me. She comes first because I interact with her content, brother. I always tell her, good job, girl. I'll show y'all a funny. Hold on. A quote I made on her post. Let me find it. So you want to see a cheese ball post? Can you see that? Can y'all? Whoop, I'm not sharing. See, I almost did it again. Tell me if you can read my post or if I need to read it to you or my comment. And that's not the best picture ever, but I said sharp and sophisticated, sexy lines, ... and a sweet stitch. Because she's holding a stitch. But she's going to China. And I think her fiance is the Kunwu guy. But she's a badass. She drinks bourbon. She smokes cigars. She likes naffs. She got pretty feet. She's got nice man bags. I mean, there's just not much not to like. I mean, she swills bourbon. She doesn't even put ice on it. That's a man's man. That's not a man. Yeah, I got to get off that. But there was some what did I see today that I thought was really cool? I love that knife and I forget what it's called, that new brown knife. Mayor Salt, dude, she's a she is a Serbian, or I forget where she's from. She's from somewhere over there. But what's this knife called? This new Brian Brown. Do y'all know? Not Brian Brown. Brown knives. No, it's not that. I can appreciate, if you look at my feed, you're not going to see chicks in here. Well, I say that, but you'll very rarely see, you'll mainly see animals eating each other or playing with each other and knives. But yeah, I'm not checking for chicks. Now, I like this pair. Have y'all seen them before? That lady that rubbed found that little panther and thought it was a kitten and raised it, and now it and the Rottweiler are best friends. Whoops. Whoops. Uh-oh. I almost killed it, guys. Proto 3 Cortex XL. Dean, how did you like that? And yeah, guys, this is Off the Edge Light, so we can talk about anything. And they're the sweetest dogs, unless you're not their person. And I don't know if I've told y'all, but I've got this cat that comes and hangs around at night. And it's got a pink collar on, but I don't think it's a chick cat because I've got a chick cat. I'll show you. Let me find it. When it was a baby, it looked like just a little thing about to die because it was caked in the mud. Hold on. Let me find it. It's Luna's her name. But you can tell when it gets to be a little bit older. And I can't play music, but I'm trying to find the one where she picks it up out of the mud. Let's see if this shows it. No. Hold on, guys. I'm not abandoning y'all. I'm just trying to find. Let me go to rescue. That might be it. And Rottweiler. That's a different one. All right. I'm going to have to just find you a different one. It'll show the same thing. So here's Luna. Now, she looked like she was covered in cake and she didn't have hair when they found her. But this is when she started to look maybe not like a cat. But check this out. This is one of the first videos I saw. And I thought it was getting ready to be gruesome. She's got her own page and she's got 4.13 million subscribers. Luna, the Panther, does. Watch her and the Rottweiler play. I just think it's cool. Anyway, I'll get a strike for that, so I'm gonna take her out because they play serious about that. But she is a definitely a different critter. Shut up. I wanted to just find a picture of when she was caked in the mud, because if you saw her and rescued her, you would not have thought she was a panther. But I'm not seeing that actual rescue video. So anyway, we're gonna blow off Luna. But I've seen videos with tigers, with baby bobcats that get raised. Coyote, this guy found a little puppy and turned into a full bred coyote. But by the time it was living with this guy, it was fetching balls. It was doing everything a normal dog would do. I mean, it's a trip how much of environment, and like my mom said, well, she's probably going to come up and eat it. But there's no way, because this wolf rescued won't sleep without this guy. Rescued wolf cub pup. There we go. Let me see if this is it. And then we'll get out of this forever. I promise you. Nah, that's just kind of a news story. That's not it. That's just bullshit. I don't want to see that. That's not it. Never mind. We're not going to mess with that. Brand New American, what is up? Kent Daigle, what is happening, buddy? Good to see you guys. So I'm going to show you what I carried, and I'm going to find out what y'all carried. So I showed you the field duty. That was my folder. I did not carry, let me reach in my back pocket to make sure, but I don't think I carried a fixed blade today because it rained here and I didn't leave. But I did carry my Jack Wolf and my Nightcore little flashlight that I'm kind of digging. It's a little bit, I haven't reviewed it yet, but it's kind of the form factor of the Arcfeld, but it's a little longer, but it's so much more bright. So that's that versus that. So that's bright on the Arcfeld, and that's bright on the Nightcore. About the same thickness. The only thing so far I'm finding out about this one, it doesn't have a magnetic clamp. It does have a lockout, and then it's got a quick switch, which will just let you push it to flash it. Or you can also set that to be a strobe, but it just seems a little long. So when I put it in my pocket, because I keep it in the same pocket with my slip joint, but I've got shorter legs, the clip works great, but I can feel it kind of in my pocket. I'm checking that out, and I'm checking out this M2C Pro, which is another Nightcore. It's 18650. I think this one's right around 53 bucks. No, I think this one's 60 and the one in my pocket's like 53. They're both pretty well priced, and they feel as solid as my Olites and actually as solid as my Focus Works. And they're brighter than my Focus Works. But we'll see. We'll see how they work out. Kyle Coonley is a saint. He is the man. Ken Daigle, what's up? Are they picking on you, buddy? Do I need to give you a wrench? Brand New American, you should have a wrench. Hold on a second. That way you can protect yourself from Shane. And Ant's got a moderator so he can add links. And then Brand New American. But yeah, I saw a cool video the other day of some golfers. Y'all have probably seen it because I think it went viral at some point. So 1931 Leatherworks. I have not realized who you are yet. But I don't recognize, you know, guys, I'm such a goob. Y'all are all just family to me. But there's a video on YouTube of these golfers, right? Tactical Terry, good to see you, brother. Did you change your, hold on a sec. But these golfers are playing this hole and there's a sand trap all around it. And there's the middle of the day and there is a bobcat kind of doing the cat slump around the green because the green's elevated. And the bobcat's on its belly. And these people are, oh, really? Palmer, did he have a heart attack playing on the tour? Or did he just get hit by a club by his wife? Caught him with his mistress? But anyway, these golfers are sitting there in their cart filming, and these geese land on the green and are walking up on the green, and they've already hit up. So they're waiting to go up, and the bobcat's down like 10 feet in the sand and comes shooting out. Oh, really? Was it the guy that missed his tee time, almost found dead not on course? I'll have to Google that. I wonder if it was the guy who got the DUI and almost missed his tee time for Augusta. It happened a couple of weeks ago. Let's see what it says. Yes, I think that's him. 30 years old. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's sad, man. You know what? My bad. And I hate to speculate. Yeah, prayers for his family. Absolutely prayers for his family. I hate to speculate, but usually when young people like that die, it's I bet it's gonna be something that was not what he thought it was. Or maybe it was something more natural, but I don't think so. That's just sad. I mean, I was a huge Mac Miller fan, and I thought that was tragic. But that shit takes everybody down. Yeah, you know, and it could have very easily been a combination, you know, and I've got a friend who's a really good guitar player who had a son, 23 years old, who is getting ready to check into a treatment facility on a Monday morning. And he worked in a bar and he went home on Saturday evening and he was going to have a last hurrah of what he liked to do. And evidently it was right around the time that some hot narcotics were coming through Huntsville, and he didn't make it. They went, he didn't come to work the next day. It was a Friday night because he didn't come to work on Saturday. And the dad, my buddy, who's a year younger than me, had to go get it in his apartment. The kid was an accomplished musician, just like his dad, just tragic. I mean, that's why I am so grateful that that shit was not tainted as much. I'm sure it was tainted with some stuff, but not stuff that would kill you, because I would be dead without a doubt. DED, do not pass go. Everybody's a mod Space Ghost. They're picking on people, and I hope they don't run anybody off. Any of y'all who are putting time out, when you come out, that's if people don't put you in timeout, they don't love you. It's kind of like a Brody 420, 74020. How are you, buddy? But if anybody picks on you, come out. If you prove yourself worthy, I'll share a wrench with you. And what I was saying earlier is every 3 months or so, the wrenches get cleared. and I have to go back and reassign them. So I don't know it until somebody says, "Wait a minute, where'd my wrench go?" So know that if your wrench ever goes away, just let me know. I agree with that, Jeff Hamilton. Rhodey, that's awesome. Do you have a graduate from high school, college, middle school? Well, let's fix that, Arkansas EDC. Now, with great power comes great responsibility. I think Edgy's the only one that has absolute power. Edgy and Said Stevie, I think, do. Just from the way I've got them set up. I don't see. Oh, Edgy. I see why. I see why Arkansas. I can't find him because Edgy timed him out. Hang in there, Arkansas. I'll get you a wrench and you'll be able to protect yourself. That's awesome, Rhodey. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations. Tactical Terry doesn't. Oh, I got to get you a wrench, Tactical Terry. Boom, boom, boom. All right. There's Arkansas. I got to catch him before Shane puts him in timeout. I think I got him. That's funny, Kent. That'll get you a wrench. Just don't abuse it. I always feel like, and you guys know I've got these guilty pleasures of watching these drama channels and this crazy shit. Dude, that was my first baby banner was a purple. That's a great, great knife. But I was gonna say something I forgot now. Oh yeah. I watch a lot of questionable content, live streams that are kind of drama, internet drama based. And dude, the chats are so toxic because you'll have 50% of the people in the chat absolutely hating on the host and 50% of the chat protecting them. And it's just fucking wars in there. I mean, it's just ugly. Marcus, just hang around for a while, buddy. We'll get you a wrench. Are you getting thrown in timeout? I'm gonna model. If you're getting picked on, I will yank. But just be around for a little while, just so I know you. It's good to see you, and I appreciate you being here, buddy. A lot of these guys are in. No, you didn't mess me up, Rhodey. I've just got ADHD and I'm brain dead. But yeah, I will definitely. I wrench up everybody once they've been in the chat a few times because I'm kind of get the same people all the time because I don't advertise things to pull people in. T Fetch, what is up, channel member, rich man? I don't. Thank you, buddy. I'll give you a wrench since you said something nice. But if with great power comes great responsibility. MPG EDC, what's up, young lady? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey Edgy, you've got override power, buddy. You're my brother. If you see something that's not up to your standards, I trust. Let me know if you want a link, buddy. I can Instagram you one in 2 seconds. I saw you're going live tomorrow night and I saw the question mark. Does that mean you've got something planned or you're just going to do like I do and wing it? Last night, I had notes that I was going to talk about and I never opened them. So I learned there's no need to make notes. I'd like to be able to plan, plan lives. MPG, hopefully you're either on your way home or you're going somewhere fun, and it'll all be worth it. Oh no. You and me both, brother. I don't think I know I haven't. I've never written a script. When I do and that's why I've got to get better because my views suck. But when I do a knife review or a knife overview, as I call them, because I don't cut a ton of shit, I don't hard use knives. I like knives. I like cutting paper. I dig them. I dig the people around them. But when I got into the hobby, I would watch those kind of videos just to get an idea of what the knife was like, right? I could tell a lot from just without the reviewer saying anything, as long as they were activating the knife and talking, showing it off. And the Denver airport, something weird's going on there from some of the stuff I've seen. I don't know how true it is, but there's some definitely weird shit that I've seen. My worst or least favorite airport, because I'm on the East Coast, I guess you'd say where I travel from, is if I go anywhere, even if I go to San Francisco from Huntsville, I got to go through Atlanta, and Atlanta sucks. Big time. Is Lemmy not got a wrench? Where's Lemmy? Lemmy's got a wrench. Dwayne Letterman, good evening, brother. Are y'all proud of me? I've done no more portrait streams. Portrait streams on average Jair's gets 50, 60,000 views, where his live streams don't get anywhere near that. And I saw Mike Emler did one the other night, and when it was live, it had like 7. And by the next day, it had like 13K. But the consensus is you guys, even on phones, hate it. And on a computer, maybe it's easier for a streamer, if you want to say that, or a knife guy that's hosting one of these to do it from a phone. But looking at it on a computer, it just makes everything smaller. A lot of people do them. The way I've gotten it in terms of gotten away from having to do that is I just pump out a lot of shorts. And I wish there was a way that subscribers could filter shorts if they hate them, because I spam them. I do literally, sometimes I'll do them 2 times during the day, but usually at like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, I will take 6 to 10 knives, and I will open them or take them out of their sheath, 15-second. And Shane taught me this in Nashville, but 15-second shorts. I put 4 hashtags. I put YouTube shorts, YouTube short, singular, and short. And if I go look at my shorts right now, it's scary, because that's why I don't have a lot of repeat viewers, because all my shit. So if I look at content, my content, I'm lucky to get 100 views, right? But if you go to shorts, and these are the ones I put up today, and then if you go to yesterday, you start seeing these crazy numbers like 2,500, 4,400, 1,200, 1,900, 2,300, 5,000 for the Luck Knives for this video right here. That's the video. And it's over. And that's gets, a lot of views, which gets in front of a lot of knife people that aren't currently engaged in the channel, but they don't seem to be coming, I think last month it said 8% of my audience comes back to watch more videos. So my videos need to get better, and I need to get better with my thumbnails, and I definitely need to get better with my titling. And I never used tags. I didn't know tags were a thing. Did y'all know that there's a section after you upload it on your phone? Because I do everything on my phone, where you can go into YouTube Studio and you can select tags like knife content, things like that. What's up, Bluetooth Blades channel member? Welcome, brother. I'm gonna grab you a wrench before Lefty, or not Lefty. That was a Freudian slip. I'm not even gonna say who I was talking about because he will be pissed. But put you in timeout. So you've now got a wrench. So you can add links if y'all have links to your own socials. If you want to promote something that's legit, that's not scandalous. If it's scandalous, I'll block you. Because I'm thinking about, to get my views up and to get my channel to do better, thinking about turning it into a knife drama channel where I just go around and I dig up the weekly drama going on, and I just get on a soapbox, maybe start drinking again and just rant. Because this day and age, people want to watch chaos. I carried this knife yesterday. I have not carried it in so long. This is the Wee Roxy 3 Todd Knife and Tool Design. And it is such a good little knife. I've got several Todd Knife and Tool Designs. 3 of them are made by Best Tech, but this is by far my favorite. That's true, Arkansas. And I was talking about kind of what Stevie's doing, where he's kind of going around slamming on people. But Marine X, I was really, I got a different respect for him after watching his Benchmade breakdown. Yeah, and he did a good job with that. We were talking about that earlier, that he was, and people have come out and told me that he works with one of those 2 companies, so there might be some bias. I get that. We're all going to have biases, but if you're reading from court documents and just sharing both sides, I thought he was pointing out, I can understand that from a business standpoint. I can understand that from an unrealistic standpoint. It was kind of balanced, I thought, but everybody kind of interprets language differently, not as badly as we interpret text differently. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a really nice guy. I mean, I think he's definitely monetized his channel and he's earned it. He's got a shitload of subscribers. I forget how many. Let's see. So I'm sure he strikes me as someone on the Ron Kwok, the 76,000 subscribers, the Ron Kwok, the Taylor Martin, some of those guys who are really, really good at video, audio. They're not just hacks like me. I mean, if you looked at the other side of this computer, I've got a 90-degree arm. I stick this iPhone right here on there, but I can just do it straight through iPhone so I get better resolution. But I do everything with my iPhone. And what I learned is once I upload it to YouTube, there's a place you can go in your studio. You go to content here and you can go down, let's find a video. Whoop. So let's just say this one here. You can go scroll down and then you can go to advanced and you can put in tags. See, I don't have any tags in here. And this helps your video get seen by other people, because I forget, it's a crazy amount of uploads each day, as you guys might know. And YouTube might show your video, and in the first 5 minutes, if it doesn't get a good click-through rate, they'll just shelve it, right? And I watched a couple of videos on YouTube today that showed that people who do this, you can get a lot. I mean, there's so much shit in here that I don't get. But I have not been using YouTube to its maximum. I've basically just been throwing up videos, having 2 wordy titles, because every video I've watched today from the YouTube Creators Club say you don't want more than 3 words on your thumbnail. And then I go back and I look at MCs and stuff like that, the ones that are killing it. And guess what? It's true. They're not putting a ton of words in their videos. Most of them are 4 or 5 words. So check this out. And I use a lot more words. I mean, I try to give more of the story, but if you look at MC's contents, and again, he uses white or red. He does use some yellow, which, and stuff like this is really the way to do it. Not give away too much. And G-Ball's killing views too. I need to look and see what he's we go check out G-Ball. He's getting views on almost all his videos. Short titles. But see, he's getting over 1,000, 3K. I mean, he's getting a shitload of views. I get no videos that get views like that. But I think a lot of it is not saying too much in the title and keeping the title short. And then I don't know how his descriptions are set up. Let's look. It's just links. He doesn't have anything sneaky in their tags, descriptions, chapters. So yeah, I've got a long way to go. Hold on, guys. I just had a sneezing fit. Holy shit. That was brutal. Shane, I mentioned that the other night. I still think I think at some point he realized that. Again, he should have come back and said something, but I think he would have kept clapping back if he didn't realize that he was kind of off base. Sorry about that, guys. I should have muted. But that was cringe. No, what you do is you do what you like. You put out good karma, I believe. You work hard, and then success is either going to come or it's not. But either way, you're going to be doing everything you can to make it better. I think shitty humans or good humans are amplified by wealth. I think some people, if you get into the mega rich, can be totally corrupted that started out good. But I think most of it is it just amplifies your internal personality. So if you're irresponsible, if you're shitty, you're going to be more so because you're going to use it as power. Whereas if you're a good person, you're kind, you're probably going to be more charitable. That would be my thought. But I don't know because I've never experienced that nightmare of being like have a windfall of cash. I would give it a college try though. I would do my very, very best. And I still think this is every bit better than the Benchmade Griptilian, the Ritter Hogue. Probably my favorite Benchmade style knife. Look at the handle, because Doug worked on it. It's very similar to the grip, except this is a Pardue blade. And you're not a shitty person. You're just hard on yourself. You judge yourself harshly. If you're charitable, Kathleen's exactly right. Be your authentic self, and everything else will not only be as it is, but it'll help people around you see what it is. Because I hate, and I fall prey for it. I don't know if I attract it, but I fall prey to people who narcissism, maybe, but very inauthentic. I'm gullible. Well, this comes when Griptilians were S20 or 20C, no, when they were S30V, this knife was about $30 less expensive in 20CV. It has much better texturing on the G10. It has much more substantial liners. Thicker liners, thicker, more grippy thumb studs, and the spring is just tighter, so it not only sucks back in better, but it has better detent. I'm a big fan of it. Plus, the proceeds go to support Doug Ritter, who him and about 4 other people run Knife Rights. But I think this is the G10 too on the grip. See how mild it is and slick, especially in the mini. This is a slick knife, even though it's got texturing. It's very smooth feeling, right? Great knife. This knife has got what I consider real texture. It's not too aggressive. It's got a deep carry clip from the factory, 20 CV before Benchmade was doing 20 CV, and it was about $30 less. And it only sold at Knife Works. It's exclusive, which I don't care about Knife Works, but goes to support Doug Ritter. If I wish I had my mini, let me grab my mini grip or my mini Doug Ritter, because that'll be a better. Let's see if I've got. Oh, I didn't put it up here. Hold on a sec. I don't think I put it up there. Give me 2 seconds, kids. No, I don't think I did, because I'm just going to step over here and grab. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just going to grab this knife. So the only thing that would make these easier to compare is if they were both drop points. So this is the mini Hogue, and that's the mini grip. And you'll notice standard Benchmade clip, not deep carry, no big deal. Full deep carry clip. You've got the bodies are almost identical, but you've got the texturing and that G Mascus, and the Hogue is less expensive. So this one, I think this is S30V. Nope. So this one's 20 CV. And so they're both 20 CV. I think the G10 I think is better. Look at the liner thickness where the bar lock goes through. And the studs are kind of smooth and just like little circular pyramids. Now, I love the blade hole. I love this blade style. But this little guy just feels more tuned. It feels more refined. I like it. That's why I didn't get a full-size grip, because I got the full-size Hogue instead. I mean, I don't say it's a replacement to the Griptilian. I know MC uses it for his size comparisons, but it's a great knife. And if you look at it pound for pound, value for value, let's see what we're looking at. I think we looked yesterday. If I go to Knife Center, Knife Works, not Knife Center. I don't go to Knife. If I go Hogue, Ritter. Oh my God, they're on TikTok now. I'm losing respect. Ritter. Enter. All right. So if we want a Ritter Hogue today, they're in MagnaCut. So the mini is 159 in MagnaCut. Those are autos. The full size is 179 in MagnaCut. All right. Remember that number. 179. That's just like mine, except they have upped the steel from 20 CV to MagnaCut. So let's go to whoops. I don't want to do that. All right. So let's just get a quick price. Blade HQ. Got the full size. 187 when they were selling them. So that's sold out. Let's see if we can find one in stock. Let's see what Benchmade had. That's the FRN. So it would be this one here. Actually, this one. Whoops. 551. So maybe it was $20 more. But either case, I think it's a better knife. I've not had a full-sized Griptilian because this mini Griptilian was one of my first, and I really liked it. I've got a lot of Benchmades. I really like them. At least I really did like them for a while. Stephen Clayton Jr., welcome, brother. Let me get you a wrench real quick before Edgy puts you in timeout for fun. That way you can come back with some revenge. But I've got a Benchmade that's not super rare, but it's one that I found in stock, old stock. And it is my favorite Benchmade. And it is, I think, different than any Benchmade. It's the Mini Loco. It is thick. Look at those standoffs. Look at the blade stock. I mean, it is a badass knife. It's probably my favorite Benchmade. And I don't think they sold well because they're discontinued now. A lot of knife stores have them. I know my local knife store, Knives and More, has a couple. And I don't know if they ever had a full size Locos, because they call this the mini Locos. It must be a beast, Arkansas, because that's mini to mini. I bet you it's closer to the size of my mini Adamas. A little bit bigger than the Adamas. So how big is the 808? Let me pull it up. Benchmade 808. 808. 8.625 inches with a 3.68 inch blade. And this mini that I've got in my hand dude, I think that's the same one. 808. Oh, 8.6. Okay. 3.6. And this blade is like 3.4. And the overall is 7.5. So it's more than an inch smaller. That shows you an idea of how big this beast is. But a great knife. I mean, full size knife. When I say full size, I meant like thick. Really done well, but it must not have been a big seller for them. But these you can still find at knife stores. And this one I found at St. Nick's Knives. And I don't know if you can see that. But it's a first production run. And I want to say I picked this up for like $159. I was measuring it with my little Amazon titanium tape measure. This is a pain in the ass to read. But then the other thing I've got up here that I picked up a long time ago, when I first started collecting knives, it was one of my first grails. Have y'all ever seen this? The OG Kaiser Critical. Matthew Christensen design. You've seen the Mini Critical, I know. But this is the OG Blade Series. Speed holes are just for weight relief. But this knife is a beast. They also did it in a flipper. It's one of the few Kaisers that I haven't given away just because I love it. But it's definitely a full-sized slicey design. I didn't know if y'all had seen that before. I tried to break out some different stuff. Doesn't get much more different than that. And this has got a weird story behind it that I'm not exactly sure how it went, but this was an OEM project. I'm not going to name because I kind of forgot whose project it was. And Best Tech went into production. And evidently, when it was time for them to settle up, the manufacturer, something happened, and Best Tech took over this knife and put it under Best Tech. I saw him at Blade Show. My buddy A to Z picked one up at the table. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a wicked hollow grind. I should probably cut something. Whoops, that was a rip. That wasn't a cut. And those little humps look weird, right? But when you go to hold this knife, depending on where you hold it and depending on where you're trying to get your, like a pinch grip, those humps can be used. I can kind of see them making sense. That's a cool knife. Might be for sale sometime soon. And then since Pocket Metal's not here, this is probably my favorite or second favorite Medford, the Infraction. My stars and bars. This is the first one that got my attention. The flipper tab's kind of weak. See how it kind of came out like a... The flipper tab is not quite long enough. It's a low profile to get that blade momentum going, but the flick is money. On washers, S35. But I just think it's a sexy knife and it fits my hand perfectly. Now, my buddy A to Z, who's got sausage fingers, thinks it's too small for him to hold comfortably. But what does he know, right? I do respect the fact that he started doing it when nobody was even in a market for that kind of knife. He just started making them and doing his thing. And I don't know the whole history, but I do respect the fact that he employs people and he's trying to fight the good fight and making crazy ass knives that there's only a few that I find attractive and only a couple I bought, a few, 3. But yeah, it's oh, I know you are Tactical Terry, but a lot of people, Pocket Metal and I have these conversations because I can separate. It's not just separating the politics from the man. I think a lot of what Greg does is truly heartfelt, but I also think he has a persona to keep up on the internet, right? People expect a certain type of dialogue from him when he goes live. So I think he's probably, and maybe not, I think to some extent he amplifies his opinions, maybe, and maybe not. So are the Phillies, this sounds stupid, but are the Phillies hockey? Because that's what Lefty was watching with his wife tonight. And I don't know anything about sports except wrestling, combat sports. I hear you, Kathleen. It seems like if you're going to have a team, they're going to bring in the cash. That's true, Arkansas. But Medford or Midgard Messer, have you ever seen the Nori neck axe? Check this bad boy out. So it's a magnetic little lever there, and it's got a magnetic sheath. Pop it out, and it's jimped all the way around. So no matter how you hold it or how you want to hold it for what you want to use it for, it is a badass little unique D2 and titanium defense tool package opener. Weird knife. But I was on Midgard's site the other day just because I do like overbuilt stuff from time to time, but I got burned. Not by anybody, but I took the liberty of making my most reckless purchase and picked up the PMP Tianto, which I really didn't need. I wanted a big knife to check it out. It was Metal Complex's video that drew my attention to it. I love it. I just don't carry it, right? And right now it's on Blade HQ or Blade Binge for $350 or $380, and I'd sell it to you guys for less. So reach out to me. It's right here. So PMP, they're OEM'd by Max Ace. But they make some big, big knives. This guy is M390 in titanium. I missed it. Look how big that is. Got a flipper tab. Deployment hole. I just hit my finger with it. It's a chopper. But anyway, for any of you who are like big knives and you don't know why, there's one available. This knife lists for $550. I use my 10% discount at White Mountain Knives. Got it for $5. It's not been used. It's just been reviewed and put in some pictures. And I chopped some bamboo with it. But it has no marks on the blade. I'm going to show you guys an awesome fixed blade. When I say awesome, I mean an EDC, like a primary replacement. This is the Vero Axon. So it's the exact same length as my folding Axon, but it's about half as thin. Comes with this sheath. Had a different clip on it. I put the Ulti clip on it. But it's perfectly balanced. OEM by Best Tech. And then, since I haven't been showing off fixed blades, this is a guy Shane and I know who lives kind of right between where we live. And he's going to be at Blade Show. Dustin Driver Defense Knives. And he's bringing swords to Blade Show. We'll go to his Instagram in a second. But this is his Splinter. Driver Defense Splinter, which is Magna Cut. Heat treated, I think he said 64, 65. Made right outside of Gunnersville, Alabama. Super little banger of a fixed blade. And then lastly, the other one I picked up in Nashville was from Colin McGuire, Mag 10 Knife Works. And what's cool about this one, a lot of things are cool about it, but when I get my black light, that carbon really pops, that carbon fiber. So that's 80s carbon fiber. an RWL 34. In a little made in the USA, Mag 10 USA or Mag 10 Knife Works. I want to say Collins in Maine. He's going to be at Blade Show too. And I think he makes some beautiful, beautiful blades. Longer than what I normally carry, but it's got a great poon, great jimping that's aggressive, but doesn't hurt. Nice swedge, nice sharpening choil. It's got lime green G10 liners. And he also, one of his things is most of his knives are Damascus, and he makes his own Damascus. So I'm going to go over here real quick and go to Mag 10. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you Colin because he's a super nice guy in his work. But this Damascus he made, and it's a combination of 1084 and 15N20, and I'll show you some pictures of him actually doing it. But that's the same EDW with his Damascus. That's one in CPM 154. Glow scales. I wish I had the glow scales. But he makes each of these by hand. And then that's one of his NAVs. That's the McGuire Crew. I had a great conversation with him in Nashville. He's such a humble guy. I mean, because I was complimenting his work because he had a table full of it. And he was just like so humble. He was like, well, thank you so much. And I was going to show you like this stuff right here, right? This might look like not much now, but there's going to be a lot in this little handful of steel. So he makes up his own Damascus. But really, really cool stuff. The other one I was going to show you was Driver Defense, Dustin Driver over in Guntersville. And if y'all are going to Blade Show, he is bringing some really killer stuff that I would not be interested in, but he is a fantastic knife maker. I did not know he made swords. But he's taking several of these. They're called Defense Apokishkas. Japanese-inspired blades, post-apocalyptic, so he's kind of done an interpretation of them. But it looks like that's a lot of what he's taken. And these are the splinters. That's what I have. Those are blanks, splinter blanks. But he also does really fine slip joints. And I get amazed that people with their hands can craft. I want to show you one knife that my buddy actually bought from him that I've got a review on my channel if y'all want to watch. But it has semiconductor in the titanium, and it's got one of the most wicked hand ground blades. Let me find it. Right down here. Because A to Z bought it from him. That's the knife. That's semiconductor. But look at that grind. And that's a homegrown homie. And he does amazing work. And there's another dude who I started talking to on Instagram because I was at the local knife shop. I think Shane's been there with me, Knives and More. And they have a local maker from Rogersville. Shane, have you ever heard? What's up, Craig Vincent? Have you ever heard of Deer Lick Forge in Rogersville, Alabama? But this guy had some knives up at, I had this one, and it was like $1,100. Let me find it. His knives aren't cheap, nor should they be. I don't know if y'all can see that. I sent some pictures to Pocket Metal, who's very much a discerning slip joint guy, and he seemed to like them pretty well. He was he especially liked some of these that had the stag. But look at that. That's 1, 2, 3 blades. Damascus, Stockman's. I mean, and seeing his work in person and actually looking at the tolerances, and he makes them in a little stuff like that. But that's Rogersville, Alabama, boys. They don't play around. These guys can make knives. And that's him right there. It's a big billet they just cooked up. But yeah, do all kinds of stuff. And to me, it's just fascinating to bump into these people. That's what I love about Blade Show when I've got time to be there. This year it's going to be kind of in and out, but just being able to walk around and see stuff, night tea fetch, and see stuff that you normally don't see on the daily, right? You see stuff that there's a whole corner Blade Show. It's more like a row where these young guys like Deer Lick Forge and Destin doesn't set up there because he only has a few slip joints, but most of them in their 70s and 80s. And under their case, Shane's seen this with me. They'll have a case of slip joints, and then they'll have these old knife maker magazines that they were on the cover of. So some of these people are just legendary in the knife world. It's crazy. I mean, again, I wouldn't know because I've never been into or drawn to slip joints as much as more modern folders. MPG, I hope your husband's not having to work tonight. I hope y'all have the long weekend off. Oh, I just misflicked that. But this is my flipperless Eclipse that I picked up from Knife Joy. I think it's in 20 CV. And then my Harsey is in MagnaCut, and my little one's in S45. This is a great knife that I did not think I would like. And it's not just the pattern that drew me to it, which it is the pattern that drew me to it, but it's just such a smooth, slow roller, reverse flicker on washers. And then I had to break out my little Lush. I don't carry this knife enough, but I think it is a great little gentleman's folder. The way the choil works. Concept killed it. I think this is the first knife Concept OEM for Devo. But it's got a front flipper. Whoops. Whoops. I hate front flippers. Whoops. Thank you, Arkansas EDC. I'll check that out, buddy. Great little knife. These will come back at some point. And I haven't watched Lefty live the last couple of weeks because I've been up taking care of my dad, and I haven't heard any updates on production times of the nip slip or the what's the other one? The nip Lite. This little knife I won in a raffle for Brother Brown, and it is surprisingly slicey. This is the Quiet Carry Waypoint, kind of the all-weather knife that's allegedly rust-resistant, Van X and titanium and G10 on washers. But it is a little banger. I can't reverse flick it, but the thumb flick's money, and it's super thin. I don't know if you guys, as are most of my Quiet Carries. I think my favorite is the 9. Tour Knives, Arkansas. I think a lot of people do. Hold on. I probably got a Blade HQ, Knife Center DLT. Let's see what DLT's got. Are you looking for one in particular? I would go to DLT unless River's Edge or somewhere like that has it, just because they ship quick. Smoky Mountain Knives isn't too bad, but River's Edge and DLT, in my experience, have shipped on the same day. So River's Edge has a few. Doesn't look like they have as many. I've never checked one of those out. I've never checked out a Tour. But my favorite Quiet Carry right now is not a rust resistant one. This one's 20 CV. It's got stick action, and it's got a tall, slicey blade. Just a very well done knife. The Drift's probably my second favorite. The Waypoint's a great cutter, but it's just not nearly as fidgety. We had a great team in Huntsville. The UAH Chargers used to win national championships in their little division, which wasn't, it was kind of a smaller junior college division, but they'd have most of their players came down from Canada. Yeah, I was a little mini mite wrestler all through middle school, high school, part of college. Should have gotten into MMA if they had it back then. Be one of those ankle crushers, choking little people out. This is a great knife too. I still think my favorite overall knife out there right now is the Roosevelt, the Oz Rosie, the regular size. It's such a good knife. PM2 is a winner, Arkansas EDC. And it'll probably save you money off of a Benchmade. I don't think I've paid, now they're more expensive now, but I don't think I paid over 200 for any of mine. This one's in CTS XHP. I've got one in S30 and one in S110. But the pair of 3 didn't fit my hand, even though I've got a small hand. The pair of 2, I think, is probably one of the best knives. Definitely one of the most popular. But Spyderco's got a lot of great little USA made knives. I love this little Native, an S45. This is the breast cancer awareness one. Compression lock, kind of like a little micro shaman. Brand New American, I saw pictures of that PM2 Bowie, and I didn't know if it was ever coming out because I'm a blade collector with PM2s, but for some reason the Bowie looked fishy to me. It almost looked like it was a modified Tanto. I don't know how to explain it. Great little knife. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Spyderco. Or you can save up and do something like a McNeese made right here in Alabama also. Very simple design, very well heat treated Magna cut on a totally different level because it's handmade. And that would cost you less than a Paisan. Cost you more than a PM2, but cost you less than, or about the same as two PM2s. One of my worst performing videos, and I know it was the thumbnail because I did a video last week on Loctites, and I went through all of them. I thought it would be a good video, but when I look at it, my thumbnail sucks, and nobody watched it. It must not be a good video, but I think I've got almost every lock type there except what's this thing sitting on? I don't even think it's broken 100 views. Fixed blades is what people want to see, in my opinion. That's what I get the most views on, are fixed blades. 97 views on my Loctites. So that was what I would consider, don't do that video again. But what's interesting, let's see how many impressions it got. 2,000 impressions, 2.8 click-through rate. I mean, just weak. Just weak. But yeah, I should spend more time if I was like a YouTuber. I would spend more time in my analytics and try to figure out what those things. We're always close to the edge. Josh Branson, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Do I have the sound effects turned down too low? I was having people tell me last night that they were too loud. Let's see how my machine gun sounds. Dude, it's strange. No worries, Tori. No worries. And thank you, Josh. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, it's hard to tell, you know. I think a lot of it is just it doesn't make sense because you can go in there and you can look at your videos by where is it? By popularity. And the ones that get the most views, the only thing that I've been able to draw as a conclusion, fixed blades and Amazon knives. They will cross 10K. The rest of them, the most I get on a good day is like 400. MPG, I'm glad you're coming around, sweetheart. Tell your husband I said hey, and y'all have a fantastic weekend. Keeping on doing your thing. And if y'all haven't subbed to MPG EDC, go sub to her. You can check out an impromptu interview she did at Blade HQ's reopening with our old favorite, Nut and Fancy. I want to pull up her channel. for shits and giggles because we're going to watch that video if she doesn't mind, if she doesn't copyright strike me. MPG EDC, because I thought this was pretty cool. I think her husband's filming and she's so she's at 215 subs, guys. I'm going to drop Miss Meredith's link in the chat in case you guys have not had the pleasure yet. I'm also going to pin it because once I show you guys this video, you're probably going to want to just be able to click on it. So I'm going to pin that. If you want to go sub to MPG, it is now pinned in the comments. But this is what got me. And then I started watching a lot of her content. But
on their blades.
Yeah.
But I rotate so many of my.
Okay.
Hi, Tony.
All right. We're live. Go ahead.
Hey guys, MPG EDC here with Nothing Fancy.
What's up?
Blade HQ.
What's
OG.
up?
I mean, what? How about that? When was the last time y'all saw Nothing Fancy, right? And she goes through and does the whole pocket check with him. He plays right along. It is good
Knife
stuff.
reviewer right here.
Yeah.
Original
Man,
knife reviewer.
I don't know about that. I try. So gear check on me, P365.
Actually,
Nice.
one of those.
Yes, sir. Stretch XL.
Freaking love it.
I'm seeing how much wear I have on this. I've been making fun of everybody because they don't have wear on their blades.
Yeah.
But I rotate so many of my blades, so it's really crazy. I have hundreds of blades. Then the TMP.
Oh.
Endura.
No, that's a Delica.
Delica. Yeah.
So anyway, I won't bore y'all with all of that, but do go sub to MPG EDC. Nothing Fancy's awesome. And the fact that she found him and sat there and had a conversation with him is just cool. I don't know if I am subbed to Nothing Fancy because he was before my time. Nothing Fancy. EDC. I was not subscribed, but I am now. And he has got 863,000 subscribers. It looks like he's doing pew-pews now as much as anything else. Is this the same channel? Let me share it. It says Nothing Fancy. It's him. And he does have some knives here. But it looks like his more recent content is pew-pews. He doesn't have another channel, does he? That's got to be it. Yep, Blade HQ, so that's him. So yeah, guy, he is an OG. I don't know if he still does a lot of knife reviews or any knife reviews. Oh, Brand New American, that's super cool, dude. Lacrosse is a hell of a sport. Okay, I'm gonna find his other channel. Thank you, sweetheart. Well, he's got almost 1 million there. All right, here we go. Let's see if that's it. Nope, that's the same channel. Even though it's a knife review. Hey, MPG, if you're still in here, send me a link to that. I'll look for it later. Because I don't see his other channel. Gotcha. I'll tell you who I miss from a review standpoint. I see Peter at a Therapeutic Edge from now and then, but I miss Christine at Women Carry Knives. I used to love her videos. Craig Vincent, they're referred to as pew-pews because you can't say the word on YouTube without getting a demonetization. It's one of those politically sissified, euphemistic language thing. That's why. Same reason they say if you're talking about a criminal channel and they'll talk about an SA instead of saying the word, they'll use the word grape instead of saying the word. There are a lot of things they have to do because, so many things. What's amazing is so many things aren't considered offensive that should be, and so many things that should be offensive are considered offensive. But I think we've all kind of come to realize that we're in their house, hypothetically, right? So this is their private network platform, and their other platforms, they might not have as much viewers. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but YouTube is, if you look at where searches occur globally, Google is the number one place where searches occur. YouTube is number two, followed by Bing. All right, there is. Uh-oh, I clicked on the wrong link. Hold on, MPG. I'm going to click it up and I'm going to share it. There it is. Oh, he's only got 108 there. Here, let me share this. You guys, did y'all see that link for Nothing Fancy? It looks like this right here. Lieutenant Colonel Nothing Fancy. Very cool dude. But yeah, it was before my time. I did not watch a lot of that content. I was watching when I got into it. Yeah, Craig, it's, and some of them don't, right? So some of them you don't even have to, because the channels aren't monetized. Like Demolition Ranch, places like that lost their monetization early on. And so they just have sponsorships, right? With ammo and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Mr. MPG. I appreciate you, buddy. But yeah, that's why they say that. Are you being sarcastic, Ant? Because YouTube is basically, if you search Google, you're searching YouTube because YouTube is Google. Now, keep in mind, there is so much shit on YouTube that the search is not always easy. So if I go Titanium Justin, I know he's a newer channel, auto populates. And so I'm not seeing it. So I'm going to go up here and go Titanium Justin knife reviews. And there he is. I couldn't find his channel, but I see one of his videos. So I can click there and go to his channel. But his channel hasn't had time to be indexed since it's newer. Google takes time to go through and crawl all the sites to find out. So see, I did Titanium Justin knife reviews. Knees is coming up. I even came up. But if I searched me, I used to not come up at all. And then I changed my name so it would be more unique because Tri-State couldn't pronounce it. And now my channel comes up and videos. But if we search Google, and we go, whoops. Why is it pulling that? I don't want that. I want Google. I guess I can just search it here. So if I go, let me think of a knife, a more popular knife, something that okay, I'm going to go, Vostede Psyop review. So the first thing that's going to pull up Vostede, then the next one that indexes is Stas's because it was a day ago. And then mine because it was a day ago. And then you go further down if you want to see more videos. You can click over here and just look at videos. And these are all coming from YouTube. So you can search YouTube through Google. A lot of the way that YouTube gets its traffic is people search in Google how to fix my Maytag washer. And then they see a video, they click on it. That's search traffic, even though they didn't search in the YouTube search bar. But like when I'm trying to set up a rain tree irrigation system for a chick I was dating for a little while that didn't have the manual, I just Googled it and watched a YouTube video. And I had the thing spitting water in no time. So yeah, you think about it, there's so much traffic, it's scary. So if you go YouTube hourly traffic, SEM Rush. So YouTube is ranked, I used to use this at work, but they are ranked right behind, who do you think number one is worldwide? Google. So $94.56 billion visits in the last 3 months. Average visit duration 31 or 23 with a 35% bounce rate. So this shows desktop, mobile, and I'm sure this is all devices, which is TV. So if you go to Google, it'll probably be number one. Yeah. So Google's ranked number one worldwide, and YouTube is ranked number two. So there's a lot of traffic, but there's also a ton of uploads, right? So if we stop sharing and we Google daily YouTube uploads, $3.7 million new videos are uploaded every day, around 271,330 hours. And based on a video content length of 4.4 minutes. So 3.7 million each day. 114 million active, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I mean, it's the real deal, but like anything else, it's their playground. So at any given time, they can take somebody down. They can take your channel down. They can do whatever they want to do, really. And it's frustrating because most of my lives, not a big deal because I don't get a lot of views, but most of my lives, once they go live, about 20 minutes later, the electronic the checker will flag it as ad restricted. So I have to go in and I have to click a button that says review manually, and it takes about 48 hours. And I've never had one, knock on wood, not get cleared and go back to green. But what's kind of suspicious about it is those first 2 days after the live is where you get most of your views. So the whole time that you're getting views, YouTube has flagged it, right? So you don't get revenue even when they clear it and say, oh no, you weren't violating. It was just a mistake on our server, right? Or our checkers. They don't say, well, you can have that revenue for those days. And we're talking about $1.25 maybe. I mean, you're not going to get rich on YouTube. If you want to get rich on YouTube, start a crazy drama channel or stream video games, be super obnoxious, start hanging out with people from Kick, try to get somebody to give you a deal. I mean, I know gamblers. I don't know him personally, but I know a guy who's probably one of the most reckless gamblers online, and he streams. He used to stream for Kick. Kick banned him. Now he's streaming for somebody else, but gets like from the platform like $8,000 a month. Now he gambles it away and he's still way in debt, but they pay. You think about that, because that's marketed to kids. And if you watch any of these live streams on YouTube, a lot of times it's gambling. They're gambling on Stake, which is a website, or they're gambling on what's the one, Bear, that Jake Paul pumps. That's one thing that my addictive personality never took me hard into, and I'm thankful for that. I never got the gambling bug. Let's go, Boss Man. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Pocket Metal would be all over me right now. So this is the dude that does all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, he kicks holes in his room. He's a crackhead, and he gambles constantly. He's got a huge audience.
800. Oh, wow. One more. Yeah. Oh, my.
Yeah, I got to get to where he's raging, because he'll go from up to down.
Got 378 extra on Limbo.
And they're just, I mean.
Come on. Come on. Oh, my God. Stop. Oh, my fucking God, dude. Man.
See the blanket on the wall and the blanket over the door? He's kicked holes in those. I mean, he's got some epic ragers. And Snow Trog, some people do it. They learn, kids, if you're good, some of it is, but I've watched when Kick kicked him off, you can still get yourself in the hole. So they give you an allowance to gamble with, but they can still have real losses. Because I've seen several exposés of people who started and then, just caught it real bad. But there are people like Dana White, that guy, another high roller who always wins. But there's certain people who know the games to play where your odds are better. And they know that if you've got the revenue to sustain it, and I think the trick is going low when you're on a streak and going high when you've been beat. It's bizarre. I think it just takes balls and it takes a lot of time. That's why people will lose $2 million at a high rank table, and people will stick around long enough to win their money back. And I guess if you've got $100 million, losing 40,000 sucks. Really? So when you say subsidized, cleared out, like, because it shows in his account. Let me show you. And this could be fake. You're teaching me, but if you go in and look at his, because he's got these different wallets, and he'll go in there and he'll do crypto shit, and then he'll beg his audience to give him just one more, throw me a bone so I can, he'll get like $20 and he'll go in and try to flip a coin. That's where he loses most of his money, on the coin flips. But yeah, I mean, to me, the fact that they're able to do that and that their audience is primarily 12 and 13-year-olds, that's bad. You know, the whole thing with the OF, which you have to say that, you can't say the word, girls and all that shit to me is just exploitive degeneracy. I don't understand how, you know, it's all done legally. Oh, I believe you, Palmer. I think you've got the big streamers, and I think you've got a lot of streamers. I forget. Let's see how many people Kick employs. Kick streamer influencer count. Aiden Ross is number 1. That's not what I was looking for. XQC is number 2. How many active streamers on Kick? 12 million. Kick went from 5 million to 12 million. Now, keep in mind, probably 2-3% of those are getting paid. So you've got to think there's a ton of people that are streaming on Kick. They're gambling and they're not getting any kickback from Kick. And they could be making a lot of money gambling. I've thought about doing it, but I'm not going to because I don't gamble. But I'm good at blackjack. I think that's probably your best odds, in my opinion. I'm not smart enough to play poker. Kick's the worst of the worst with so much everything. I mean, it's, you know, and I've heard some of the people that own. I know, dude. I'm telling you, Snow Trog, that's the only way to get it right. I'm not going to fall in any rabbit hole. And again, I try to stay way above and beyond the drama. But like I was saying earlier in the stream, Snow Trog, that's the way, that's the people that make the big money with the little work is they just scour the internet or watch content and come back and do commentary videos. They seem to be the thing. Let me get my Cole voice. Where is it? There it is. Who was it that got timed out? I didn't see that. That drives me crazy. You're exactly right, Space Ghost. And that's why when you look at the Sphere, you look at the fact that they're knocking down the Mirage to build a bigger Hard Rock or something there. Vegas is not built on winners. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't like douchery. I'm not about douchery, especially if they're picking on people. Now, if you got somebody that's opinionated like Pocket Metal or Scotch or edgy and they're having debate, not hate, right? That's exactly right. Y'all probably stay the hell away from the Strip. I love Quiet Carry. I think I've got the Waypoint, I've got the Drift, and I've got the 8 or the 9. Why'd I call it the 8? The 8's probably my favorite. The Drift has great ergos and it's a lot thinner than I thought, which I really like. This is not the large Drift. That's the regular Drift. Then I've got the Ion. I picked this up. This is the XL. I picked this up on sale Black Friday for $148 in M390 and titanium. I'm not a flipper knife guy, but it was such a good deal. I couldn't resist it. It's a great gentleman folder. But my favorite has to be the 20CV9. But all of their knives, I think, are very good. I've not experienced one that was less than. Now, Cole Tri-State had issues with his first Drift. I don't know or remember what they were. And I think they got resolved. I've gone a couple of times to the ones in Mississippi, Space Ghost, but we always did it on business. And what I do is, this is back when I drank, and this is when they would give you drinks in casinos. So I would go in with like $100 and I would look at it as entertainment, right? I want to spend $100 in a bar, so I'm just going to spend it here. And I usually lose my $100. One time I was in Philadelphia, Mississippi at the Golden Moon at the time. I don't know if it's still there, but I won $850 on a blackjack table. Started with my same $100, not blackjack, roulette. And I was betting because my buddy who I was with, who I was in business with, was a big roulette player. And all I was doing was splitting numbers and doing NASCAR. Jeff Gordon won me the most money that night, 24 direct hit. They're everywhere. And this is controversial, but I'm a big believer in free will and consequences and legislating freedoms that should be free. I think gambling, do it all you want to. God will fucking sort that shit out. Darwin will work, right? Drugs, let grown-ups do what they want to do. Again, Darwin will sort that shit out. It'll all work itself out. The oldest profession in America, I mean, you have it legal some places. Why? Why does it even matter? And I guess it's because they're not paying taxes. But to me, I'm just like, let people do what they want to do. The most fun I used to have, and it's because it was college, we would get like 3 couples and we would go to a dog track in Montgomery called Victory Land. And we went with the guy that was a kind of a big time gambler. He ended up losing his Jeep to a bookie in Auburn. So he wasn't all that successful, but we found a way that we each took $20. So that was 6 people, 3 couples. So dudes pay 40, 80, $160. And there'd be like 33 races, I think. And we'd all bet different trifectas. And that's all we do. And we never left there where we didn't make money, eat, and drink for free, watching the dogs run, because we all bet differently. The biggest waste of not only money, but of injustice, of corruption, of embezzlement, of making the situation worse than better, failed from the beginning. And the fact that they still fight it makes me believe, and I shouldn't rant like this, that the whole thing is a fucking game. When I was in Vegas the last time, I stumbled into the sports room, that huge room that looks like a theater that's got thousands of TVs and every freaking sport going on you can imagine, and you can just go in there and bet. In Vegas, you used to could go to PVK Knives, but not anymore. Dude, gambling, I've never had it, but I hear it's like a real addiction. It's like anything else that you can't stop. And it destroys lives. I mean, it destroys the people that get into it because they're hanging on hope. And once you get down, and you're chasing. See, I used to do this thing when I'd go in, and I've only probably been to the casinos 10 times, right? And trips to Vegas or trips to here or trips to there. And I've always done it. Absolutely. That's how they crack is a product of Iran Contra, but in my opinion, I think I'm bad about being reckless when I get up. So let's say I win $200. I don't even think about losing money at that point because I'm playing on house money, where that's where you should leave for a couple of hours, come back or whatever. But a lot of people will take it further than that and think all I've got to do is keep playing and it's bound to come back. And they tap themselves, they get paid again, and they're chasing that loss. And that can be emotionally financially, physiologically, just terrible. I would bet it would just suck. That's true, Space Ghost, because you never know. I mean, it's the odds. Even somebody who's an English and psychology major like me can think that the odds are totally in the casino's favor. And then I look at something like stake, and I know that how computers work and how programming works. And I wonder how all that's being regulated to make sure that they're not. Because if you watch some of these gambling streams, it's almost like they let them get up, 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 and then it just goes. And you just, I mean, all you have to do is be able to control those levers behind the scenes. Absolutely, they are. They're going to protect that crop at all cost. Because it funds so much. You know, I'm a big believer that the world economy is funded by defense and drugs and corruption. Did y'all hear? And I don't know if this is true or not. Let me Google it. Yeah, I guess it's not illegal. So, do y'all remember the fight between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, the guy that went crazy that everybody thought was losing his mind? Who is kind of crazy. So he kept getting shit talked to him, and he missed weight by 3 pounds. Well, in boxing, the opponent has the choice to either cancel the fight, lose their purse, or take the fight. And there was a clause in it for every pound that Ryan Garcia missed weight by, it was $5,000 penalty. So he was penalized $1.5 million for missing it by 3 pounds. And they asked him afterwards, you know, if that was a big hit on him, you know, on his purse. And he said no. And if you go in here and you read about it, it's confirmed that he cashed out. He bet on himself to beat Darwin Harvey, who was I forget his odds. He bet a $2 million wager that he placed on the fight, and it paid him $12 million. So unlike baseball, you can bet on yourself in fighting. So he was an underdog, didn't train, got penalized, put a $2 million bet on himself, and with the odds, won 12. Now he's being sued by Jake Paul. And there's some around, and I'm going to do a video real soon down at Knives and More. It's a store that they only have a little Instagram and a Facebook page. They don't even have a website. He's one of the first Benchmade dealers in the country. And he's also, if people like slip joints, he buys estate jewelry, he goes to a estate sale, and he's spent on collections well in excess of 6 figures. And he has, I'm going to share the screen, and then I'll share my phone because I took some pictures, but hold on. So, like, this is the picture I took there. That is a ProTech Integrity, which I'd never seen before because it's a frame lock. But he carries all kinds of stuff. He has a clientele that will buy Benchmade from him like 20, 30 years ago. And they are safe queens, and they come back in and trade them because he'll give you what he paid for it, depending on what it is. So you can go down there every other day and you'll find different Benchmades, but he's probably got more Benchmades than anybody. And his slip joints, because he trades fair for stuff. But it's a really cool knife store, real small. You wouldn't even know it was there if you didn't go in there. But let me go to no, I texted that to him. All right, let me do this. I'm going to kill this, and then I'm going to kill this camera, and I'm going to pull up my phone because we're almost going to have to go see brother. Uh-oh. We're about to have to go see Saturday Knife live, but before that, I'm going to show you guys, if I've still got it in here. So that's one case. He's got about 15, but this video here, these are all Stag 60 series, I think, 60, 70s that he bought from a widow. It's a complete collection. I sent that to Pocket Metal. But all this stuff's for sale. You can buy the sets or you can buy individual pieces. But just a really cool, nice store. So I think, and I talked to him, John's the owner of it. He used to be a big collector, doesn't keep any knives at home anymore. And that's kind of what happens, he says, is you collect into a store. He's been in Huntsville probably now for 30 years. And I think he knows enough and has enough clientele that come in because people still want to look at knives. I was there last week meeting a buddy of mine who wanted a knife who I helped him pick out. He ended up getting a Griptilian with the male party blade, the full size, but just a really cool store. And I'm going to do a video down there and go through all of his Benchmades and put his number up because he sells all over the country. He just does it on the phone. He's old school. He sharpens down there. He carries a lot of local makers like that Deerlick Forge that I was showing you, a lot of custom Alabama fixed blade makers, Cold Steel, Spyderco. Benchmade and ProTech are probably his biggest. He's got some beautiful ProTechs down there. But then my buddy bought 2 of them. He trades, and he had a Herman. He had a Strider little fixed blade that was like $575 that was super cool. He had what were the other ones? A couple of Hinderers. I mean, he had a lot of really cool knives that he trades for. And I'll tell you something, Ant, he does not have GECs in there. GEC came to him and he was going to carry them when they first started, but he was having some kind of cash flow issues and they required an initial commitment, I guess, that he couldn't quite make. And he says he mainly deals in the antiques, right? The old cases and the old stuff like that. Although he does have some modern ones in there that he sells. Well, kids, we've got 15 minutes until we go over to Jody's. So I'm going to slowly let you kids out of here and hopefully see some of y'all over there. And I do appreciate y'all more than you know coming to hang with me on a Saturday night. I didn't plan to be live, but glad I was. Glad to see some of you guys. Love it. Appreciate each and every one of you. I do hope that you keep coming back. I hope that I make better videos, which I will, that hopefully get more views. Because I know, it's one of those things. Maybe I do need to start writing shit down, but I'm not about that. I'm about point, click, go. Guys, on that note, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. And always choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.